Okay, welcome back to the channel. So, video about Novonix. I used to rave on about stock, saying it was going to do a 10x because if you did the sums on the graphite they're making graphite goes into the lithium-ion battery, and they're making 50,000 tons, $2,000 profit, $100 million a year. So that was the thing behind this company. So it actually did a 10x, but they hadn't been producing any graphite. They're still trying to, but the stock did 10x and then came back down. But they're still on par to do that, so they got pilot facilities at the moment, so that everything's delayed. This was like the end of 2024. We're going to be making 3,000 tons per annum. Now it's the first half of 2025. Delayed again, probably get delayed again. So basically, let's go over the sums. Look here, say they're going to make $2,000 per ton of graphite, and they also need help from tariffs because they can't compete with China because China's so cheap. So at the start, they'll probably be expensive. They need the tariffs, and then when they get going, maybe they'll become a low-cost producer, better than China. Anyway, so moving along, 2,000 tons per $2,000 per ton. They do 50,000 tons, which they plan to by 2028. That's 100 million. And guess what? If they can get to that much, they're going to keep going. So times that by 350,000 tons per annum. That means 300 million for a company you can buy now at under $300 million. Bear in mind, to build these factories isn't free. That could be quite a bit of money, but they are getting a loan as well from the Department of Energy, so I think they have to put in a certain amount, then the Department of Energy gives them a certain amount as well. If I can find that, direct loan of 754 million. So you might want to look into that. I think they have to raise money in themselves, but they're getting help from the government. So the thing is, with this company, you can buy them now for 250 million, and if they do go well, so if they do hit 3,000 tons per annum, they're doing it well, and they get to 30,000, the price is going to go up because the thought that they're going to get to 150,000 is more of a reality. So it's basically, can they do it or can they not? So maybe they can't produce the graphite well, and it goes to nothing. The best thing would be you buy it now, or maybe there's a recession, you can buy it for 20 cents, and then it turns out they are able to produce graphite at a good cost, and then they keep going, and it becomes like an Nvidia basically. So they're making $100 million a year, and you bought them so cheap because the risk to reward was big because it wasn't known if they're going to actually produce the graphite. So that's the thing behind this company. But the thing is, if they do pull it off, they're going to have a big moat around the business because they've been at it for years. So for another person to come along and do it, it's going to be quite a bit harder. Although China, they can be with China, but there's tariffs. They're going to be the only American company. So here's the thing here. So they're going to get to 3,000 tons per annum. Looks like they've bought a big thing. Looks like there's a belief behind it's going to work, because how else do you buy this big thing and then set this stuff up if it's not a hope? So this could be it did 10x on hype. This could actually be a 10x if they can actually say what they're going to do. And because in the future there's going to be a lot of once batteries are getting cheaper and cheaper still every year. Like, we do have a lot of electric cars, but when the electric cars get even cheaper again, it's just going to be a no-brainer to get an electric vehicle, or at least a hybrid, which will need a battery as well. So they have all these offtake agreements which mean nothing. Companies can have these presentations, say they're going to do stuff, and Novonix could actually do nothing at all. So we'll see what the future has. So you wouldn't put the whole house in this, but maybe a sizable amount if you believe they could pull it off, which, yeah, they're doing this stuff. Maybe they couldn't pull it off, and you'd be a very rich person. Well, depending on how much money you put into it. But risk to reward, it's all that risk to reward, and maybe you have an edge because you know more about Novonix than the average person. So we'll see what the future holds. Novonix could be one to get in if you believe that they can make graphite at scale. So it's all about question, can they just make graphite at scale? And if they can, they're going to go very high from this point, and if they can't as well, and if they're half in between, looks like they're going to do it, struggling, who knows. But time will tell. Time will tell. A lot better buying it now than was it $10. Can't believe $10 a share they paid, and now look at it. Who would have thought? Oh well, thanks for watching, guys, and keep your updated on Novonix. I'm not gonna actually buy any yet. I'm a bit stung from losing money on companies that don't actually produce anything yet, so we'll see how it happens. If you want a risk to reward ratio that's, like, don't want to have a big risk ratio, you can just buy the S&P 500, collect dividends, get 5% a year, add to it with your income. It'll slowly grow, but then there's better stuff like real estate as well, so who knows. Thanks for watching, and see you later.